And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. 2 Kings 2:11. That day was a red-letter day for Elisha, and it changed his life forever. The day of small things had suddenly come to an end, and the day of God's power had begun for him. He went from 0 to 100 in the twinkling of an eye, and miracles began to take place on a regular basis from that day on. The day before, he was just the same old, but now things were different, for he had the double portion he had longed for. This blessing wasn't for everyone, though, as there were 50 other prophets nearby, but they didn't receive it, for they were on the wrong side of the river, standing afar off. Elisha, however, was in the right place at the right time. He was ready, willing, and able to receive the blessing. He hadn't given up believing and waiting on God to act, and had stuck in there, humbly serving Elijah every day. It would have been a pity to have travelled so far and then miss out on the blessing he had longed for so long. He could have missed it, for Elijah the prophet had asked him many times to turn back. Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here, the Lord has sent me to Bethel." But Elisha said, "As surely as the Lord lives, and as you live, I will not leave you." So they went on to Bethel. 2 Kings 2:2. Then Elijah said to him, "Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho." And he replied, "As surely as the Lord lives, and as you live, I will not leave you." So they went on to Jericho. 2 Kings 2:4. Then Elijah said to him, "Stay here, the Lord has sent me to the Jordan." And he replied, "As surely as the Lord lives, and as you live, I will not leave you." So the two of them walked on. 2 Kings 2:6. Elisha refused to let go until he was blessed. Like Queen Esther, he said, "If I perish, I perish. But I'm stepping out in faith." He was like Jacob, who was wrestling with the angel of promise, and was also told to stop fighting, but he said, "I won't let you go unless you bless me." When I was a teenager, I used to go fishing for those elusive little fish called whitebait. In those days, they came in big shoals up the rivers in certain parts of New Zealand, and really were an expensive delicacy. You could only fish for them legally at a certain time of the year, and even then could end up with nothing on numerous occasions. Even if they were running, you could miss out if you weren't in the right place at the right time. I always remember that day when I went far up the Mokau River and put my net in at low tide, as it was a tidal river, with the off chance of getting some. It wasn't the right time, but who knows. To my surprise, I came back an hour later to find my net full, and all the water was bubbling with those little fish. I didn't have a big enough bucket to contain them, and poured them out into my raincoat and into my gumboots. What a day! I was in the right place at the right time. No one else caught any around me, and we didn't get any more when the tide came in. That was the most of these little fish that I'd ever caught, and it came because I was really keen and ready and caught the blessing as it passed by. I was in the right place at the right time and captured one of those suddenlies in life. Elisha knew the season. He knew something was up and that there was a change coming, so he seized the opportunity and made the necessary adjustments. He could have turned back on numerous occasions, but determined in his heart that he would be blessed. He had travelled so far and couldn't turn back now. He had paid the price and was abundantly blessed. He had served Elijah faithfully, staying close to him, and was in the right place at the right time, and got blessed with one of God's suddenlies. I remember seeing that film, Journey to the Centre of the Earth. The heroes in the story had a map that told them that the entrance to the passage down to the centre of the earth was inside the rim of a volcano. They were instructed to be there at a certain time on a certain day of the year when the sun was shining from a specific angle in the heavens. They got there at that exact time and saw a ray of light shine through some rocks and light up the exact entrance into the depths of the earth. They were there at the right place at the right time and found the entrance to the centre of the earth. When the suddenly of God comes, Elijah was ready. It's not something that happened every day. For him it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that could have been easily missed. He lived for this day, and he wasn't going to blow it now, even though Elijah tried to put him off. He knew that when Elijah had departed from the earth, There would not be another chance to get this double portion blessing anymore. Elisha would have to go home and look after the cattle as he did before, or join these has-been prophets on the other side of the River Jordan. In 1994, there was a wonderful blessing that came to the worldwide church called the Toronto Blessing. It was happening all around the world back then, but only experienced by those who were hungry for God.